What's good? It's your boy Micah. Give me just a minute. Back again with another video. Today we're gonna kind of switch topics, switch tracks a little bit. It's not gonna be so much about necromancy. It's gonna be more about working with demons, specifically Lilith. We're gonna talk about true divine masculinity and true divine femininity. Let me start off by saying this. We're just gonna hop right into it. You see a lot of female practitioners in the occult, specifically those who fuck with black magic, darkness, that kind of thing. A lot of traumatic stuff can happen to them, and therefore they go to beings and goddesses and demons such as Lilith, Nema, Hecate, etc., or Kali, to seek empowerment and to regain their womanhood, so to speak, and the power that comes with it. That's fine and good. That's excellent. However, you see a trend going on where most female practitioners, specifically where they're working with Lilith, they come to this point of, I'm an independent spiritual female practitioner that needs no man or male masculine entity to help me or protect me. Again, that's well and good. However, specifically when working with Lilith, she brings you to that stage so she can take you to the next stage of your spiritual development. It doesn't end with the I'm independent, I don't need no man with Lilith. That's just a plateau, that's just a stepping stone. The next stage of spiritual development is, now that you're independent and you don't need a man, now you can learn how to respect and how to work with the divine masculine or masculine entities, whether it's celestials, demons, gods, or whatever. So you can understand why they do what they do in all their aspects, so you can work your energy along with them, and the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts. Let me explain. You may think, and this is for the female practitioners or female energied practitioners that are male, you may think that you don't need a man or a masculine entity to protect you, do shit for you, etc. But there's going to come a point in your journey where you will need a masculine entity. Perhaps you're being attacked by a group of female practitioners, jealous bitches, or whatever. Perhaps you're being attacked by another masculine male practitioner doing vile shit to you at night, i.e. astral rape and other methods of torture. There's going to come a point in your energy where you cannot sustain the battle any longer, where you cannot effectively protect yourself any longer. If you choose to stay stuck in that bullshit mindset that you don't need a man to help you, you're going to die. Plain and simple. This goes beyond the shit about, all male practitioners ain't shit, all male practitioners is weak, and all this other kind of shit. This goes into survival, doing what you need to do, and working with who you need to work with in order to continue breathing and existing in your day-to-day life. The deeper stage of spiritual development with Lilith is learning how to submit to the masculine energies. When I say submit, because I know this is going to trigger a lot of female motherfuckers, I do not mean you're on a fucking collar and chain getting abused in order to get off. No disrespect to the BDSM community. What I mean is you need to know how to weave and work your energies correctly with that masculine entity so things can get done. That's the definition of submission. Lilith teaches you that. The most I'm not going to say profound, but the most prevalent example is in sex magic. You learn how to weave your energies and the energies of your menstrual blood along with the semen and the energies of the guy who is fucking you. The whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Greater magic can get done. That kind of thing. Now, most female practitioners tend to take this and say, okay, there's male demons, I can just, work with them, which can be done. However, most do it without a understanding of what is going on. They simply project out their body, go into the dream world, suck demonic dick, and then that's how their magic gets done. There isn't a greater respect for the principles behind what is going on. There is no concentration of energy. There is no manipulation and weaving of the magic. It's just you getting fucked or sucking off Belial's dick, and then you wake up, and then whatever needs to be done is done. It can get to such a degree, and I'm speaking from personal experience, what I've fucking seen, is that you think you're demonic royalty or something, or you're getting points by being a infernal prostitute or infernal whore, which that methodology in and of its own self disrespects what Lilith stands for, because some ancient texts and others refer to Lilith as the sacred prostitute, so to speak. However, you're not emulating Lilith. You're just being a regular whore. That's it. Lilith is doing it on a completely different level. There's a completely different set of magic going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Lilith can teach you if you decide to fucking get out that mind state and bias and methodology of your current way of doing things. Now, let's cover the divine masculine. You hear a lot in the New Age movement and from a lot of feminists about how there's toxic masculinity, i.e. the desire for death, destruction, rage, war, sex, etc. And to some degree, yeah, masculinity can be very toxic in an unhealthy way. Even I'm saying that shit. There's some men out there that feel that they can just take what the fuck they want, and they proceed to commit crimes such as rape, and even make excuses for it. I seen a story on Facebook where this chick said she was getting some weed from a guy. Young guy, had to be no more than like 18 or maybe 16 or some shit. Black guy. And fucking, he essentially forced himself on her. That's not the part that gets me. I don't care about the fucking hoes and shit. What I care about is that this guy proceeded to make excuses on the internet talking about, smoking ain't free in order to justify what he did. And that's what pissed me the fuck off. You literally commit one of the most vilest crimes in human history, and you're trying to make excuses for why you did it. So, fucking yeah, masculinity can be toxic. However, true divine masculinity is not just about honor, chivalry, holding doors open for bitches, being faithful if you're in a relationship, respecting women by not looking at the big ass titties and the ass that's obviously there hanging out and all this other kind of shit. True divine masculinity is integrating both aspects, the good and the bad, so to speak. If you're a man and you're in a relationship with a female practitioner, you're supposed to have that desire for death and destruction in order to protect her. You're supposed to have the fucking lust and all this other kind of shit that's supposed to be considered toxic. Otherwise, she's gonna fucking leave you, because inherently she does not sense that fucking masculinity that is needed in order to sustain the fucking relationship. It has nothing to do with how much money you make, it has nothing to do with how good you look, it has nothing to do with any of that shit. It's about your energy. The rest will come along natural. You feel me? Now, for the men, working with Lilith, she teaches you submission, so to speak. She strips your ego of the bullshit, all the cultural, societal bullshit and all that, to where you're empowered to do what the fuck you want to do without having to take on that label. For example, if you have a feminine energied male in your life, and y'all decide to have astral sex or whatever, you can do that without having to take on the label of being gay or bisexual, because you know you're not. You simply do what the fuck you want to do. If it's feminine energy there, hey, spread them fucking cheeks, you feel me? That kind of thing. So, you understand what I'm saying there. She also teaches you how to fucking gain true masculinity as well, with the whole death, destruction, murder, all other kind of shit. You can see that even in Kali. She has that fucking, she's feminine, but she also has that fucking masculine energy there, you know what I'm saying? She does what needs to be done. throughout time, all the other kind of shit. Now, to kind of backtrack, talking about female practitioners, you have to be aware of the reality of the situation. The four horsemen, death, famine, war, and conquest, or disease, plague, some shit like that. Those are not the four you got to be afraid of, because they come along naturally. They're going to do their thing. It's just a part of the process of the collective evolution. What you got to be afraid of is the hidden horseman. The fifth horseman is named reality. Here's why I say that. There's a lot of female practitioners who, when they get pissed off with a man or a male mage, the de facto response the de facto response is to first bind their dick, to cut off their sexual energy, to attempt to take their pride by means of cutting off their sexual energy and vitality. This can go one of two ways. If it's a weak man, weak male practitioner, it'll work. They'll start experiencing problems and all this other kind of shit. The second way they can turn out is that it don't work. And again, I'm speaking from personal experience. It don't work, and it backfires, especially if the man fucks with death. And then all of a sudden you're wondering why your fucking uterus is dying, your ovaries are dying, you're bleeding out much more than you normally should be, and you got all these problems going on. Okay, let's dissect this. What is the cause? Assumption is the motherfucker of all calamity. You assumed that just because you thought this motherfucker was weak, that means he's actually weak. This holds a deeper principle, applicable to all people. Do not be deceived by appearances. I'm going to say that again. Do not be deceived by appearances. Just because if you live in the Bible Belt, that kind of thing, just because the preacher gets up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and spouts bullshit for an hour and a half does not mean that he's not practicing voodoo, black magic, or even white magic on the side when he gets back to the crib. It does not mean that he's not secretly putting death hexes on individuals in his congregation in order to get them fucked out the way. It does not mean that he's not on the side with multiple chicks plus the main first lady, and they all doing group rituals and all the other kind of shit. Sounds crazy, but it's the reality of the situation, because you do not know, as a magician, the heart of other people. Going back to the female practitioners, you do not know the true strength of the guy you're trying to bind. For the male practitioners, you do not know the true strength of the chick you're trying to curse, hex, or do whatever. She could appear to be weak as hell, she could appear to be raggedy as fuck, but she has the skill, strength, and power of a fucking grandmaster. You feel me? You have to be aware of the reality of the situation before you make your move. Basic principle of warfare. Now, concerning feminine energy and, forming a synergy between the feminine and the masculine, there are various ways you can do it, but you got to understand that the desire for destruction, death, rage, sex, etc. is inherent in all masculine energy people, whether it's on this plane or another plane. It's inherent in women as well. Thus why women get fucking horny and shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit goes beyond gender and age and race and all other kind of stuff. If you deny, as a female practitioner, your own inner masculine and project the negative traits outward and shit, you're gonna come up upon problems. This is more than just the whole you attract what you are bullshit. This is you're consciously choosing to not accept your own masculinity even as a woman, and therefore you're projecting onto other male practitioners or masculine energy female practitioners, if you're gay, lesbian, whatever, and fucking causing problems that way. Through this whole thinking process, your assumption and your bias can get you killed. Mainly because you refuse to do what needs to be done in order to survive. Because you feel like you don't need a man to help you. This is gonna piss off a lot of female mages. I can already fucking see it psychically. But it's okay. Because it's truth. It's fact. There's no fucking gray area with that. You heard? So just please be mindful of that when you're working with Lilith, when you're working with Nema, when you're working with Hecate or any other feminine entity. That way you can work correctly with the masculine entities, especially in baneful magic. Because masculine entities, we're direct with the shit. If you need a motherfucker killed, we're just gonna kill him, get him out the way, move on to the next one. A feminine being or spirit, they're gonna make that motherfucker suffer. Like, they're gonna do some fucked up shit to the guy before he dies, you know? So, yeah, just make sure you're aware of that before you try to work with these feminine entities. That way you're not stagnant and spiritually blindsided due to not getting rid of your own bias, which prevents you from really seeing truly what the spirit is trying to show you. The next topic I want to talk about is interfaith relationships. Love is love. Now, I'm not a love doctor here. I'm a death doctor. But yet, I understand the principles and the ways, some of the ways love works. If you are a male black magician, you're doing your thing, you're fucking with the necromancy, you're hexing, you're killing, you're doing all this other kind of shit, and you click with a female who is of another religion, let's say Christianity, Islam, or whatever. If both of you try to make the relationship work, and there is no interference, major interference from her deities or whatever, Jesus, Allah, fucking Ahura Mazda or whatever, then that relationship is meant to be. It doesn't fucking make a difference what other female practitioners in your tradition would say. I've literally had a female black magician talking about she was disappointed in me because I chose to be with a Christian chick, and how that when there were other mages before me who left the path because they had sex with a Christian chick and whatnot. What you gotta understand is that it doesn't make a fucking difference whether you choose to be with someone from your own tradition or another tradition. If love is there and it ain't going nowhere anytime soon, then it is what it is. That's your partner. The same fucking rules still apply if it was a mundane relationship, you know? Again, you can't be deceived by appearances. She might fuck with Islam hardcore, doing prayers, bowing down 5 times a day, praying to Allah and shit. She might decapitate a motherfucker just like this other guy in the UK was decapitated for showing a caricature of the Prophet Muhammad. She might be doing all that shit. But when it comes time to unhook that bra and pop off the fucking panties, you can bet your shiny white ass she's gonna fucking pop off the bra and shit. It's a relationship, you know? Now, there are certain advantages to being with a person from your own tradition, i.e. the two of you mutually get stronger as time goes on. Y'all get deeper into your practice. You can do sex magic, you can do all this other kind of shit without having to walk on eggshells, without having to have your partner be worried about whether you're trying to do a spell on her or all the other kind of shit. There are advantages to it. However, there's also advantages to being with a person from outside your fucking tradition, i.e. you get the inside knowledge on what's going on. You fucking gain a form of empowerment, so to speak. Your bond gets stronger and stronger and stronger because you two mutually respect each other's shit. And y'all don't talk shit about it. Y'all know where the line is drawn. You understand? Now, a lot of people might disagree with that, talking about, well, you know, your resonance is going to be affected and your magic won't work because over time her energies will degrade yours, and all this other kind of shit. Here's the counter to that. It's a two-way street. As you keep ascending, and as you keep staying firm in your sorcery with your ancestors, etc., it's going to inspire your partner, and she's going to start having thoughts about, hey, maybe I should get into this, or maybe I should get back into this. You know, like, he's getting results and whatnot, and, you know, I love him and all this other kind of stuff. So it's a two-way street. You have to be solid enough in your practice to where you know pussy is not going to make you turn. I'm going to say that again. You have to be solid enough in your practice to where you know pussy is not going to make you turn, whether it's Christian pussy, black magic pussy, or whatever. It's the same thing for females. You have to be strong enough in your practice to where dick is not going to dominate your decisions about your spirituality, no matter how good it is. So, that being said, for you legit practitioners that are in interfaith relationships, keep going. If the love is there, let it fucking stay there. Don't fucking leave the relationship because you don't know what fate has planned. Him or her may be a Christian today for the next 5 years, but suddenly a switch flips in their mind. And then they start delving into black magic. They start asking questions. They start doing this, that, and the other. Let things take its course. Don't try to be sneaky and fucking plant seeds of apostasy and doubt within them, because they're going to realize, okay, this is not my own thinking, and then the next natural, logical conclusion is they're going to think it's you, which then leads to a whole other series of problems in and of itself. Let things take its course. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep fucking with your necromancy, your spirits, your ancestral sorceries, all that other good shit. Because your power will prove itself to you and her and everyone else. I'll say that again. Your power will prove itself to you, to your partner, to everyone else, whether they want to acknowledge it consciously or not. That being said, I'm going to conclude the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have a question or if you want ritual work done, hit me up on my email, Discord, call, or text. I'll leave the links down below. Until next time, stay evil and stay safe. Peace.